The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Saban Entertainment, and Subaraya Productions. Welcome back, everyone, to First Impressions. It's that time of year again.
Yes!
We have a new Sentai, or
Yes.
Sentais in this case, for the first time ever.
Double.
That we do.
That
Kaito
is
Sentai.
your word of the day. Double.
That was also W, because it's winning.
Get out.
This is my part.
We're doing Lupinranger versus Patranger. I'll kick you out of your own house.
Lupat!
So, we've had 3 episodes thus far, most of which have focused on the Lupinrangers.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're doing 3 and 3, because it looks like from episode 4 for probably through 6, we're going to be doing something Patranger focused.
Woo.
I'm excited.
Woo. So, my first impression so far is, Like, we don't know enough about all of the characters, but what we have seen thus far from most of them, I'm not a big fan of. I like Lupin Red, and I like Lupin Yellow, and I like Lupin Blue okay. Haven't really got enough of them, but I just hate the Patranger something fierce.
I love all of them.
Really?
I don't... Green is growing on me. We haven't seen enough of Pink.
We haven't seen a lot of Pink.
Green is growing on me because he's the rookie who has to prove himself.
Yes.
Red is such a tight ass.
I like that he is because it's a nice contrast
Contrast.
with him and Lupin Red.
Well, Lupin Red, he's not... Let's put it this way. He's not lucky.
No, he isn't. Let's get this right out of the way, out of the bag. None of them are lucky. That's a good thing. No one's constantly saying stupid catchphrases. No one is constantly, mugging.
Or they sort of are, but they don't say it in an extremely over-the-top annoying way. Like Yokotsu, he says that like sort of under his breath. And I really like
Adieu.
Yeah.
Adieu is not... That I can deal with. That's not Yosha Lucky. It's not Moe Tikita. It's better than all that.
True. But, so Lupin Red is confident, but not silly.
He's cocky.
Yes.
He's a very, very cocky guy.
I love it.
But it's a serious cocky. He's not the...
Yeah.
He's not loud and obnoxious.
Yes. Which is so good because also I just love the stakes for these 3.
People have died.
People have died.
Well, we don't know that they've died.
I'm really hoping they do.
They're making it. They're giving the impression.
It certainly is set up like they are, but we don't know for certain.
It would make the most sense if they did because of the fact that it just happened to so many people at one time within Yellow scene when that happened. So I'm sitting here like, let people stay dead. Just do that, and you're good.
And so they have those stakes, and I just love that promise they have that says, even if one of us goes down, the others will just say screw it and move to make our promises come true.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, so they will leave you for dead. Glad to know that. Which I think is really cool. I love the suits. I'm not a fan of the morphers. Don't mind the morphing sequences. But...
Oh, yeah, especially Lupin Rangers.
Yes. But
like, I love both of them.
I like both of the morphing sequences.
But them, like, standing on top of the towers and the capes just billowing in the wind, capes are cool. It just makes it just so awesome
I
looking.
figured Blue would be his favorite because in the very first fight scene...
Blue was my least favorite.
Blue was in the chair.
Yeah.
And they all just look at me and goes... And move on. I'm like, all right, Marcus loved that. That was my first thought. Marcus loved that. But Blue is, out of the 3 Lupin Rangers, Blue is my least favorite. Mainly because he's an idiot.
He is an idiot. After last week's episode, he was about to steal the Patrangers versus Changers when they came in to the cafe that the Lupins work at. I'm sitting here like, you're the only ones there. You can't just bypass it off of anyone else doing it. Why would you try to steal it?
It wasn't me. It was the silverware.
I was like, you're a fucking idiot.
There was that and also like that whole episode, Lupin Blue was like, I'm gonna go fight them, and Red's like, don't. Okay. And it's a scene that lasts 30 seconds. It's like, okay, some interpersonal conflict, okay, never mind.
He was like, you gotta remember the things that we can really use with them. You gotta be a little bit more tactical. And they do. And I'm just like, this is how it's sort of supposed to work.
Like, that's another thing. Even with the Patranger, every time they fight, it seems so much more controlled, if that makes sense. When Q Rangers fought, it felt more like a battle. When I watched the Lupin Rangers and the Patrangers fight, even each other, it just seems more like a chess game.
Yeah, and I love it.
Because they're all...
It's a fair comparison.
It's not about defeating the enemy, and especially in the Lupin Rangers case, it's not about defeating the enemy, it's about pinning them down, getting their getting their more...
Stealing their heart.
Stealing their abilities, because
They are.
Marcus knows what's
It
up.
is Persona 5.
it
Good
is.
gracious.
I still think
That opening scene in the first episode, I'm like, this is Persona
This
5.
is legitimately Persona
This is
5.
literally the opening of Persona 5.
The opening of Persona. They're in a gambling room.
They're in a casino and they break through a window and
I was like, this is legitimately.
and they have like.
Can I also just say those masks start fooling nobody? The masks and the hats. I'm sorry.
It's not.
Yeah. I felt the same
I
way
got-
about Persona 5. It's like, and no one else in Japan looks like you.
I'm going back.
That mask is fooling no
I'm
one.
going back to Green Lantern. You think I'm not going to recognize you because you covered up your cheekbones?
That's also a good comparison.
It's just, but I thought it was fun. But then we get the Patrangers.
I love them.
Red's a
I
tight
still
ass.
like them.
I really like the pot. I like them more than the Lupinrangers.
I like them both equally. And I say this because, Red might come off as a little bit more,
The guy from
uptight.
Drive.
But he has a really good heart. And you can tell that in the second episode
Yeah.
when, he promises people, is like, we're going to catch this criminal.
Yes.
And then he gets glued to the floor with his ass in the
Ass
air.
in the air like it just don't care.
Nice ass, by the way. But
I took a screenshot of it and sent it to Marcus and I just said, that ass. And he was like, that scene was amazing.
it was. But I also had to say, I think out of the Patrangers, Pink is my favorite.
Because she hasn't done anything?
No, because she's a really good fight. I love seeing...
Boring?
No. In
Well, she hasn't
episode...
done anything.
That's my point.
That's the thing.
Episode 4 is actually all about her. But episode 3,
Good.
what was it? Green got his versus changers like almost stolen by Blue, and Pink fought him off like nothing and just took it back.
That was good.
And I'm sitting here like, this is what I live. I live for competent Pink Rangers, and that's what coming off of Bokenger is our last one.
We have a competent Pink Ranger, and honestly, we have a competent Yellow Ranger, too. She's done nothing to say otherwise.
Yeah.
Though, another thing that I'm not liking, what the fuck is that thing's name? The one that makes the mech?
Oh, yeah.
Good Striker.
Good striker. Or
Goody.
goody.
Can go to hell.
I love it. I think he's hilarious.
I think he's annoying.
He's so annoying.
I think
I'm
he's
a
just
fan of
really
this one.
funny. It's just like he's not there all the time, so
Question.
when he's there, he's hilarious.
Answer.
Why is he a puppet only when the Patrangers use him?
He was a puppet with the Lupinranger.
I did not see him pop up.
He was
as
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why then? Why do we have imagination again? Except not as funny.
He's not an actual hand puppet.
Yeah.
It's still
They just make him. I love that scene. Speaking of the mech, we're going to talk about the mech fights in a second. But in episode 3, when the Patrangers first transform into Pat Kaiser,
Mhm.
and
Who else got Deca Ranger flashbacks?
I mean, yeah, because of the sirens. But
Not just the sirens, but the way the mech moves.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And
I
the
mean,
fight itself.
yeah, it makes sense. But that scene when he first pops up with the police hat on, and Green's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
and then he just looks at Green again, and Green just it's hilarious. And Pink
let's-
immediately got her gun out.
And let's talk about the fact that they give each team a similar but different ability. It makes it copies a Lupinranger and fuses the Patrangers, which I'm sorry, I don't want to be fused with any of those three.
I thought that was the most.
That scene, I want to give
hilarious.
all of the props in the world to that suit actor and the cameraman because the way he turned, whenever he turned and faced a certain way, he would be playing a different character.
He was
I
amazing.
really liked that.
And there was that scene where the Lupinrangers were on top, and he was still fused in the background. You see him rolling around the ground.
Yes. That was all my attention was on that.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, that's-
I don't remember what anyone said. All my attention was just
I was
like,
like,
that's
That's
funny.
so funny
That's
because
funny.
it was just in the background, and it was just him rolling around the ground, not knowing what to do. He was like, "The full hell is this?"
Back to full.
But yeah,
This seems like it's going to be a very funny show.
and I'm excited for that. It has stakes. I really wish we had a little bit more of, we're probably going to get this, but on the Patranger just having a much more of a reason for what they're doing outside of just their job. But I mean, it would make sense if it was just their job too.
Yeah, backstory.
The Lupinrangers at least have a reasoning. It's just like the
They have
Patrangers,
motive.
they have,
motive. Yeah.
this is their
The
job.
Patrangers have a motive too. It's just theirs is
Justice.
justice. It's their job.
Also, what the...
They don't have a suit. They don't have a super personal reason.
One thing I don't like about the Patrangers, the Buddy Roid, and that's what I'm calling it.
You mean Jim Cotta?
Sure.
I call him Jim Cotta because that's what it sounds
How
like.
is he a buddy where he doesn't come out into the field?
I was just making
He's
a joke.
much more of a Peebo or an Arthur from Five Man.
That works.
I really
Either way.
don't like that suit.
Yeah.
Which part? The part where the arms come out?
All of it. The whole thing...
It's too big.
Okay, two things that I really don't like are, like, designs of mechs and monsters in the show.
I don't mind the monsters.
I think they look fine.
Oh, God, I hate the monsters in the show. Do you remember, viewers in the comments, let me know if you remember this. If you remember the Wii U's, like, E3 show a couple years ago where they talked about non-specific action figure, every single monster in this show is that. They look like I look at the monsters and I'm like, what are you? I don't see a theme with what you are or what you're doing. You look like a bunch of random action figure parts glued together. That's what every monster in this show looks like.
See, I can see
really.
3. And
everybody... You've seen an ass load of them because of the banquet in the first episode. That's going to use that...
I kind of agree with you on that. But, like, the one with the fire ability, I didn't think looked terrible. The Don, that's what I'm calling him.
He is.
Yeah, he looks awful.
I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way his bodyguard looks. I don't like the way the lady looks. Oh, gosh.
She looks creepy, and I think it works. Because of the way that when she comes out to make them... Please make her better than Narya, by the way. Give her something. Don't just make her just coming out, just... making the monsters grow. And I really hope that after a little bit, they start to wise up for when she's about to come out so they can try to shoot her. So just break that trope a little bit. Because, after coming off of that for Zyuohger, just like this is a thing that always happens. With Q-Ranger, it was, either them jumping into a giant mech or growing themselves or making a whole bunch of other mechs come out.
Or making a tower turn into a mech.
It works in that show because there's a lot of different ways, so they can't always expect how the way they're going to grow.
But when it's the same way every time we beat the bad guy. 3, 2, 1.
You know, it's another one that's making me think of that Kyoryuger. Yeah. Every freaking time, Lokiori is just there with his freaking watering can. Let me just water this for a second. Like, no. Bang, 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 bang. You die.
I like how we're comparing this to another Sentai with more for the guns as well.
Talk about something else. The mech fights.
I'm not a fan of the mechs in the show.
Like, I'm not the biggest fan of how they look.
Yeah.
But that fight in episode 2, once again, we didn't get a fight in episode 1 with the mechs. Thank God.
Yeah, that's true.
They waited. And I'm just like, yes. But then we ended up getting that mech fight in episode 2, which was so high energy and just excitable.
And just shooting everything.
That chase scene with the Patrangers chasing Lupinrangers.
That was cool. I hated that chase
scene. I love that. I thought it was so
It wasn't
much
a terrible scene, but here's the problem I have with it. You're in airplanes. Just go up.
Yeah,
Val's point.
You're in airplanes. Just fly up 20 feet. But I won't be able to catch you.
Greatly enjoy just the energy that they brought in that. And then
there is the energy, the acting like that. That's
and then the actual, Lupin Kaiser mech fight was great. Like, it was mostly CGI, but I just enjoyed how mobile it was, jumping throughout the city, going through under bridges and everything, going up into the sky and unleashing like a barrage of bullets down in the... I was just like, I haven't felt this excited about a mech fight in years.
Really?
It was just like, I was loving
you talk about the mechs mostly being CGI. I don't mind that.
I don't mind that.
That was fine.
Here's the CGI that I mind. It's the establishing shot of the villain lair. That looks like a Windows 95 desktop screensaver.
It just looks weird. It's because that background is all purple.
No, it's not just the color. Like, the rendering on it looks like...
It does look weird.
Looks very, very basic.
I'm not a fan of the motive of the villains to become the successor.
No, I actually like that. Works. I like that.
I just feel like
they're not trying to take over the world or anything.
Well, they are, but...
They have
the extra incentive.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. I don't mind that as the motive. But when their ideas behind to become that, the individual monster motives is what I was mainly referring to.
I mean, to be fair,
I'll make statues.
We've only seen.
How does that work?
They usually don't.
It's a nice statue.
I love that scene. By the way,
the statue gets destroyed, and the guy's like, "Well, at least your legs are.
At least the legs are still there."
And I just love how awkward they all look. They're like, "Oh."
What we need is a Sentai
where we have a gold and silver ranger be the same person.
That's a hell of a segue.
Spoiler alert. We do know what the next ranger looks like.
Have you seen these pictures?
No, I have not.
It's the same. It's gold and silver, but they're the same person. In a Lupin version and a Patranger version.
Yep.
So double agent is the potential.
We're just wondering who it is, and I'm really hoping it's the chief.
That would be
Commander Hilltop.
I want it to be him. So badly. Like, it would be the most amazing thing if they did that. I might actually explode. It's just great. One, not just because
if
of the
you
fact
know
we
why
have,
he's not here, then in future episodes,
Excellent.
it's because he blew up.
but it's just like not just because of the fact that we have a double agent in this case,
which is a great idea.
That's a good concept for this kind of show. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
but also it would be the first time that we have somebody outside of a Japanese or Japanese American person be
Be a main team
Yeah.
member.
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be very exciting.
But what I was going to say before that forced segue of forcedness is
It wasn't that bad.
what a perfect Sentai
I've made
needs
worse.
is a Sentai series needs is a Sentai team that felt as together as the Q Rangers, because you can kind of see the bond throughout the show. But yet, I want the aesthetic and the backstabbiness of the villains from Tokucast, because oh my god, those are some of the greatest villains ever.
Oh yeah,
They did constantly try to kill each other.
So that I think would make one of the greatest Sentai.
that was the best thing about Tokucast was the villains.
That's going to end up happening eventually because with this type of show,
Backstabbing will occur.
Considering it's a mafia empire,
somebody's going to try to.
it's going to
backstab
happen at
somebody
some point.
Yeah. I also I'm also talking. I said the aesthetic. I want them to look like that because holy shit, those look better than what we got so far.
I'm still fine with it, but I'm really expecting it to be a little bit more like honestly Go-Go 5, where we end up having maybe a lost son or something come in, and somebody else is already in line.
Oh, there's an actual heir to the empire, a blood heir. Okay,
and I'm saying like that would make a lot more sense.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a wedding about to happen. You
The day
can
of
be on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Damn it!
You're like,
Same
yes!
fucking thought. The same fucking thought.
It's like it has to happen, right? Come on now.
I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
And I'm just like,
you're gonna destroy the Power Rangers for me.
So, my overall is, waiting for more. Oh my god, is that his mech?
yes, it is.
That is such a clusterfuck.
Let me see.
Yes, 2 mechs.
One for each, assuming. But that is such a clusterfuck. That looks awful.
What he said.
Got to see it in motion.
True, it is
True,
a toy.
no, that is also
Because remember
true.
when we thought the Tokucast mech looked stupid because all we saw was the toy?
And then
Yeah.
penis.
And then
Then it got a dick.
I still close my eyes sometimes and see the picture of Deno writing it.
It's still like the funniest thing.
Oh boy.
Emperor
On that
Slash, that's the name.
on that note,
On that note, Matt, you think it's okay?
I think it's okay. I'm
so
waiting for
far.
more. I'm still kind of being cautiously optimistic.
I agree with you 100%.
I'm just enjoying it because it's just so fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. I'll give it that.
It is fun to watch, but yeah, I agree with Matt on this
Like
one.
I'm coming off a little bit.
Well, we do know that there are more shots of a Sentai member with their ass in the air. Marcus is fine.
It's great. That whole scene was just hilarious because he was just yelling the entire time.
And then
We have to put our all into it.
I love how it's an establishing shot of the building, and you just hear.
I know.
I still love that they got he shoots Red out, and then they start to leave, and Pink's like, "Hello,"
And she's like,
oh, right.
guys,
Oh, right, you.
sorry.
This is so good. I'm really enjoying the hell out of this show.
It is
can't
fun.
wait to see more of what we're going to get. It's fun.
But that has been our first impressions of Lupinranger. Lupat.
Lupachi Magic Touch to Go.
On that note, bye everybody.
What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.